This is a review of the GP printer paper, the 3-ream pack of total of 1,500 sheets via 3 reams, 500 each, of your usual 8.5 by 11 printer paper. Now this is of a brightness 92, which is usual for your inkjet printers, but sometimes too higher than your usual of 90 for some standard copy printer paper. But it's a heavier weight. It's a 24 pound, which normal copy paper is often 20. So that means it's going to be a thicker cardstock paper, a little bit thicker paper than you might be used to. So it gives a better feel of better quality paper. That's compared to a printer paper like this, of your HP everyday printer paper. Now this one here was the 92 brightness that we saw before, but was a 20 pound instead of the 24 pound. It ships in a box like this and arrives in pretty good shape, so it seems pretty well packaged for shipping so that your paper will come in good form. It has some air pillows around, your usual strap that helps you lift out boxes of paper that are unusual boxes of paper. Now for home use, it comes in a nice little package like this that fits the 3 reams conveniently inside, and it's protected by the cardboard box package that you have here. Now that's nice so that you can tuck this in a closet somewhere without having to worry about banging up the paper edges, compared to alternatives that what they do is they give you more sheets per ream, but you still end up with it just being loosely open like this, which seems to me less protected. Obviously this fits a little bit better in a drawer than this might, but at least with the smaller 3-ream style that this is compared to your usual office supply that would be a big 8 to 10 ream box. But this one here, in terms of weight, I can lift this up with one hand. I mean, it's not feather light, it's definitely got weight to it, but it's 3 reams of paper. But I like that it comes in a box like this. I think that's one of the selling points, is that it's a nice convenient box for homes, dorms, and other purposes where you just want a small box. Oh, and by the way, here's a tip. You can continue to use the same box, reuse it, even if you buy other paper out there. There's nothing to stop me from using this as a container to put other paper that I might buy. So now let's open it up. I use wire snips to easily get the thing off here. I tried it 6 times with this scissors and these just wouldn't cut through it. And inside, this is what we have. Here's the ream sitting right on top, which you're able to then just pull it right out. And by the way, note that the lid is literally sitting right on top of the ream when it's sitting on. It's not actually sitting on the cardboard lip here. So all the pressure on the top is right on the paper, but it is just paper protected by cardboard. So here we have the ream here. Otherwise, it's just your usual 500 pack in terms of weight and feel of what the ream would be. Now I liked the wrapping style on this one much better than I did on the HP. I like the usual kind of paper wrapping because all you have to do is pop it open at the end and then you can reach in and slide paper right out, as opposed to the HP, which uses this kind of plasticky material that just tears when you go to open it. And so I always feel like the paper's all loose inside of here after that. So it's much easier, and then I can just tighten this back down and close this back up when I'm done, whereas this one, once it's open, it's kind of torn into pieces. And now the paper itself looks just as white as the alternative. I put them together and you really can barely tell the difference. I almost feel like the HP paper was ever so slightly whiter, but it should be a standard rating, like a 92 should be a 92. I don't know why it visually looks any different to me, perhaps unless the texture of the paper was ever slightly different, like maybe this was a smoother texture. But they honestly feel the same to me. So now in thickness, right, so this was a thicker paper. I mean, it's not really super thick. I almost barely notices the difference. But of course, a 20-pound paper, which is standard. If you have any standard 20-pound paper that you get mostly anywhere, you know what that is. And a 24-pound paper is just a little bit thicker to the feel. Now the 24-pound paper just has a little bit better feel in your hands, but it offers some other benefits. So one is, if you're doing two-sided printing, obviously being slightly thicker, it's not going to as easily show through the text from the other side. Whereas a 20-pound paper, it's going to be easier, especially if you hold it up to light, to see what's on the other side. Some might think that on an inkjet printer, being thicker, you might not have as much bleed through or worry about bleed through of inks saturating the paper, which causes difficulties with two-sided printing on an inkjet printer. So a 24-pound paper should help a lot with dual-sided duplex printing on a inkjet printer. And a laser printer you can normally print on both sides. Also, since it's a little bit thicker, it might be less prone to paper jams because this basically 20-pound papers often don't have the problem, but you know, if the rollers crinkle it at all, it's just going to crinkle slightly easier than a 24-pound paper. But otherwise, what can you say? In conclusion, it is paper, right? It is a nice box, a 3-ream box that you can stuff under in a closet somewhere conveniently. Doesn't tear as easily as some other packaging out there. Not that you can't just buy reams of paper at your local office supply stores as well. But it was just a nice, convenient box. 24-pound paper was a plus. But otherwise, it works, and it was a nice packaging. And that's pretty much what you're looking for.